What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I am doing a video that it's basically by popular demand. I've had a bunch of you guys ask about this certain part that you want me to make, and first of all, I'm going to show you. Well, it has to do with our doors on our OBS, and this is a problem that pretty much any OBS has either had it or is gonna have it or has it right now, and that has to do with your door handles, and that's actually either breaking them or your door not opening anymore. And I'm gonna try and fix the most common issue with that, and I'll actually show you. So this is the inside of your door without the door panel, and this is where your door handle would usually go, right here. And I already took mine apart and I unfixed it because I had already fixed this problem. But like I said, a bunch of you guys have asked me to make this part, so I decided, we got the machine, we can make the part, let's do it. It's another thing that I can offer you guys and another way to kind of keep the channel going. So anyways, so basically the problem is that you see this little hole right here, how it's all cracked around it. That is one of the points that the actually door handle latch or whatever mechanism bolts to, and it's only held by two things: a little kind of like clip right here that's on the actual like door handle, and then a bolt right there. And this is like super thin, pretty weak metal, and over time you kind of start just cracking it or breaking it, and your door will eventually basically not open anymore. You'll pull it and you'll break your plastic door handles, and your door won't open. You'll have to roll down your window, open your door from the outside. And if you've experienced this problem or if you had it before, it's super annoying, and I hated dealing with it. When I had that problem, I originally made a video very similar to this, probably like 2 years ago, where I made my own little plate to fix that, and I'll show you that right now. So yes, I made this little plate right there that basically goes right there, rivets in place, and this basically reinforces that hole. So now you have the original door panel plus this much thicker metal, harder there, that's going to reinforce that area so that your door handle feels harder than it ever has before, and you never come to that problem. The second part of that fix is installing some metal door handles. So using this and the metal door handles, your doors will open so much better. And like I said, I've had this plate in my door now for, because I gotta look back on the video, but I think it's been like 2 years, and I haven't had a single problem with that door ever since. I was really happy with it. And like I said, now that we have this machine, this little CNC plasma cutter, we can now make our own parts. So I already made the design on the computer. It's basically gonna look something like this. This was one of like 10 rough drafts that I did of the parts to make sure that it's spot on, that it's really good. And like I said, now we have a design that I'm finally happy with. We're gonna install it in the truck, but before we do that, I'm gonna show you a few other fixes that we did to the actual door panel. So on this thing, this little kind of like screw bolting location, it had cracked on me a long time ago, basically from the first time that I ever took that door panel off, which was like 2-3 months after I bought the truck. I completely took the interior apart, cleaned it all, and did all new speakers and a new radio. Anyways, when I took it apart, this actually broke on me when I was trying to bolt it back together, and I kind of just hot glued it. It worked all right, but this last time that I took it off, it actually broke again. So I ended up using crazy glue the first time that I fixed it, like I said, and this time I wanted to use something that's a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and there's nothing better than JB Weld. So I got myself some of this plastic weld. This stuff should be really, really good, and I'll leave a link to it down in the description. If not, I actually got this off of AutoZone, so you can use my link, or you can go down to AutoZone and get some of this. Doesn't matter. I would appreciate if you use the link because I get a small commission. But anyways, I mixed that up and I basically spread it all around this thing, and now it feels super solid. So I think that's gonna fix that, and I think that's gonna last for quite a while. You do have to do some prep to make sure that it sticks pretty good. Like, I went ahead and I scraped all around it with some sandpaper, as well as this actual piece, got it all nice and clean with some acetone. Wait for it, and I waited for it to dry completely, and then I applied a whole bunch of it all around, and I actually did a few separate passes to it. And I was looking around the door panel, and I actually found that it had a bunch of these little cracks kind of running all through it, like right there, a few other down here. So I had a bunch of this stuff left, so I mixed up more of it, and I applied it to all those cracks. I actually had a bunch over here too on this little weather stripping. You can't really see it anymore because I installed it again, but I applied it all right there. That feels nice and solid now. And this doesn't really like flex anymore. Like when I would do this, it would just completely, like, this whole thing would flex. And I'm pretty sure that with time, like, this crack would probably ended up going all across the door. And it might not be the best way to fix this, but I'm pretty confident that it'll last quite a while. And I did one more fix to this thing, and I think it's gonna be kind of like one of the more important ones. So this is where where is that? Oh, right here. Where this little panel, like your window switches and your door locks go. And this little like screw mounting location is very well known for cracking. And I basically used the same JB weld to hold it in place. But what I did is I took this clip off, and it was actually like cracked into like 3 different parts. So I took some duct tape, I put all the pieces back together, and had the duct tape kind of holding it to the rest of the door. And I JB weld the crap out of it until I make sure that it was, you know, holding nice and strong. And the actual duct tape actually kind of like worked as, I guess, reinforcement fabric to kind of keep it, you know, give it a little bit more strength. So once I was pretty happy with it holding, I went ahead and I installed the clip back in it. I made sure that this was in the right place and that the actual screw would go through it and hold it. So once I was pretty happy where it was at, I did a few more coats of JB weld with that clip in place. So now that's not gonna go anywhere, and it should, you know, make it to where we can reinstall this thing and that won't crack or go anywhere. So the door panel should be, you know, good to go. But anyways, I guess that's enough talking about this. I'm gonna pull the truck inside and we'll get this plate mounted on the door, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. By the way, you can get, hopefully by the time that this video goes live, you should be able to order these things off of my website, blowingdiesel.com, as well as, like I said before, my bumper conversion brackets for the 2017 plus bumpers to the OBS. Again, if you're interested in any of that, check out my video, my website, blowingdiesel.com. Anyway, sorry about that. Because I'm gonna pull the truck back in here and we'll install these on the truck. Okay, so like I said, this thing's gonna get riveted right in place, right there. And so basically mine already had the old holes from the old plate that I had on there. I'm only have to re-drill one because I did a couple changes to the actual plate, that one. But if you are doing this on your truck, what I would do is kind of get it right where you like it, mark one of the holes, and then drill your one hole. And then take your plate, install it with one rivet, and then do the rest of your rivets, because you don't want to like pre-drill all these holes and then this thing not lining up. And all you need is with a 1/8 drill bit for this. It should go right through this thing. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead, get this one installed, and then I'll kind of show you the finished product. Now, another option that you can do if you don't have a rivet gun, I will include rivets with your order. But if you don't have a rivet gun, you can use sheet metal screws for this. Now, a rivet gun rivets are a little more permanent. There's no like danger of them kind of coming loose over time. So I got the 3 holes lined up already on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and drill this last hole that I needed to. So we got that drilled out. It's pretty thin sheet metal, so you shouldn't have any problems drilling through it. And there we go, just like that, we got these the door reinforcement plate in place. We're gonna go ahead and throw our door handle back on. You don't have to take off the actual door handle. It kind of just fell off of mine. But as you can see, it fits all of the original little holes that the door had. And like, this is so much stronger now, and it's not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna throw the door handle back on. I'm gonna show you one extra piece that's gonna come with your kit that is gonna make this thing basically bulletproof. Now, the extra little piece that's gonna come in your kit is one of these are actually called well nuts, because whenever you're like, say you're making like a panel that needs some bolts, and you wanna like the nut to be like permanent on one side of it. That way you only install a bolt. You weld one of these to that panel. Now the cool thing about these is that they are so big that they're gonna spread the load of the basically when you pull in the door handle, because before I only had one little like clip, one of those kind of like one of these on there, and that kind of puts a lot of stress on that area. Now the ones that you're gonna get are pretty similar to this. They're gonna be just slightly smaller. I actually wasn't able to find these exact ones that are really big, but like I said, the ones that I am gonna send with you are gonna be slightly smaller, but it's still big. I had actually ordered these ones, but these are just way too small. So the ones that you will actually get with your kit are gonna be kind of like in between these and this. They'll be about this long, just a little bit narrower, I guess. But like I said, these things are really cool because it really kind of like sandwiches all of that and will distribute the load. That way when you're pulling on it, you're not pulling on such a small area. You're kind of like pulling on a much bigger area, which, like I said, it'll really help this kind of last for way, way longer. And it's pretty simple. One thing that is off my door, and it was this way since I got the truck, is that actual kind of like weather seal thing that it has, like that plastic. And your truck might have it or might not. Since mine doesn't have it, all I have to do is kind of like reach behind here, throw my bolt. You'll also get a new bolt too. Throw my bolt in there, get it threaded. And now that it's threaded on there, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it tight, and we'll basically be done with this whole thing. And there we go. Now, let me show you this thing. Look at that. That is solid. Like that is never going anywhere. And like, that's why I love it. That is just so nice and solid. Like the way that this feels when you're opening your door is very nice and very solid. One thing that you do want to kind of like look out for is when you do take this apart, kind of test this little cable, because sometimes this can either get stretched or it can get seized in there. Like different things can happen to it, to where it's making it even harder than it has to be. And sometimes that can contribute to that thing breaking, because you're having to apply extra force on this thing to open your door, which will stress that part. So like I said, check this out, make sure that it's in good working condition, and if you have to, you might have to replace it. Again, mine's working pretty good. So yeah, that's that part. I'm gonna go ahead replace my other side, because when I originally did this side, I bought this extra door handle for the passenger side. I just never threw it on because, like I said, it was working fine. But I'm gonna go ahead, check that one out, make sure that it's working good. If it's cracked, I'm probably gonna replace it. I might just replace it while I'm here anyways, because I am gonna change up a little bit where the ribbon locations are on this thing. I don't necessarily like it that much. Like that one right there, we'll probably move it a little bit closer and a little bit up. But other than that, I think we're good. On this side, we're gonna throw the door panel back on, which is super easy. I'll kind of do like a time lapse of it, and we'll move on to the other side. Another thing that you want to make sure you have whenever you take off your door panels, especially if you've never taken them off before, is extra of these clips, because I can guarantee you that you're gonna break at least one of them taking your door on and off. You know, especially like I said, if you've never taken your doors off, if they're pretty old, they get really brittle and they'll crack. These are the ones that I have. I'll try and find them again on Amazon. That's where I got these, I believe, and I'll leave a link down on the description for these and for the door handles. Okay guys, and just like that, this thing is back in place, and I mean, there's really not much I can say. It looks about the same. It's gonna feel much different, especially if you got your metal door handles. I really recommend those. They are amazing. So it's fairly simple to kind of get in place. The first thing you gotta do is kind of get it over your actual door handle, and then what I do after that is make sure that my kind of like lock button goes through first. Make sure that gets in place, and then I start kind of pushing in all those clips on this side. If you look kind of like through the crack of the door, you can see where they go, so you can line them up, and then just kind of punch them in place around there on this side, and there's a few more here on the actual center of this thing. The ones over here, I'm never sure like if I actually got them or not, but I always know that the ones on either side get put in place pretty good. The other thing you have to do is all along the bottom side of your door, you're gonna have little screws. So put those on, put the one that's on your actual like door pull handle, whatever, in that one, and then I do my switches. So you there's 3 screws holding in this switch, or at least if you have the 2-door, the extended cab. Put those in, get them tight, push the clip in, and then do this little screw. And if you did that fix that I did, I'm not sure. I feel confident that it's pretty solid, but I still didn't go like too tight on it. I went tight enough though, so that's for sure. It's tight enough. Same with this one. That's another screw, and you can see the fix, so you can see where it's glued right there. So it's not like perfect, but it's also not like that horrible looking. Like you can't really tell that much, but that's in there. That's solid. And the last thing to do is to jump in this thing and test it out. Now I already know that this is gonna work good, because like I said, I've had the original design that I did on this thing for like at least 2 years now, but let's test it out. Oof, that is so smooth. Like, that is solid. I love that. Like I said, I'm gonna do that side. I'll get the door handle installed. If there's anything to show you, I'll show you. If not, I'll check in once that side is done. Okay guys, so we got the passenger side taken off, and yes, apparently at one point this truck got its door replaced. I don't know if it's because it got in an accident or something happened, but one thing that I've noticed is this whole side has, at least this whole side, and if the whole truck has been repainted at some point in its life. And apparently the door has been replaced too, because it was one silver, which I like. I actually like silver for this truck a lot. Anyways, this is the clip that the door handle gets held in with. And as you can see, the passenger side is already getting cracked. You see all that? There's one right there, there's one there, and there's one coming down this way. So eventually with time, this door was also gonna crack. That was gonna crack, this was gonna fail. So I would say it was a pretty good idea taking this door off. Like I said, we're gonna replace this door handle, and we're gonna install the new reinforcement plate on this. Okay guys, and just like that, we've got our part cut out, so I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing cleaned up, and we'll throw it on the passenger side. We got this part all nice and cleaned up. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing installed. Also, the cool thing about these is that you can use one plate for either side. All you have to do is just flip it around and it'll fit on either door. So I'm gonna go ahead, get these holes drilled out, get the rivets installed, and this part of the install will basically be done. I am still waiting on the door panel. I'm waiting on that stuff to dry because I like to let it set and really like set and get hard. And I do both sides. So I already did the top side, and I did a coat on the underside. So like I did say before, it's a 1/8 drill bit that you want to use with the oh man, can't even find the side with the rivets that I'm gonna supply for you guys. Got that one marked. And there we go, we'll check it again. And that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my rivets and get that first one put in. I don't know if you guys have ever used rivets before, but I love them. They are freaking fun. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and drill out one more hole. We'll do this top one. There we go. We'll throw on one more rivet. There we go. And then we'll do the other two. Okay guys, and just like that, this door is fixed, and I guarantee you that it's never gonna crack again. I am super happy with the way that these things are turning out. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing installed, and we'll switch out this door handle. Okay guys, so we are done with this install, and I just wanna try and show you how nice and smooth and solid it feels after you're done with this install. So let me show you. Like, that's all you have to pull, and it opens. Like it is so nice. Like, look, it's open. And I don't know if you've ever, I mean, if you have an OBS and like you're having to like pull like extra hard to open it, it's most likely that you have that problem, because like it feels so much better now. Like, it's so nice and solid. Like the combination of my reinforcement plates and the metal door handle just does an amazing job at improving the way your doors open. Like, I remember before I installed this, especially when that side was broken, like you really had to like pull on it, you know. And now it's just a nice little lift of a door handle, effortlessly. You know what I mean. It just feels so nice. Like, it's just like just one finger, like literally, look, my pinky, and it's open. It's really a night and day difference on how this door opens. Also, don't forget to hook up your little LED, your little lights on this. I've got this really nice last fit LED lights in there, and they're super bright. I'll leave a link to these things down below as well if you want to get yourself some LED lights. You know, one thing that I've been looking at a lot lately is like this view of the truck, and it looks so beefy. I love the way that it turned out. The axle swap, the new wheel, the new tires, can't really see the wheels, but it just looks so nice and beefy. I love the way that it turned out. But anyways, that is gonna be it for this install. Again, go ahead and get yourself the brackets, the reinforcement plates on my website, blowingdiesel.com. It really helps the channel, and all I can say is just thank you, you know, to everybody that has purchased anything, any of the bumper conversion brackets, thank you. And anyone else that does, you know, purchase either more brackets or more plates, thank you. Like I said, it really helps out the channel. Anyways, like I said, that's gonna be it for this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, leave any comments, subscribe, and again, we'll see you for the next one.